Following a judicial review filed by the opposition National Super Alliance, the three-judge bench ruled that the law was not following in awarding the law was not followed in awarding the tender to Al Ghurair Printing and Publishing Company. Presiding Judge Joel Ngugi directed the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to commence a fresh procurement process and ensure adequate public participation in accordance with the law. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman Wafula Chebukati has also asked members of the public to submit their views by Tuesday, July the 11th, ahead of a public hearing on July the 12th. Let's now speak to our reporter Murimi Mwangi on the same. Murimi, this meeting between the IEBC and the presidential candidates, how is it expected to pan out? Has it begun?
Well, good afternoon, Akisa. Well, the meeting is slated to begin at 2. There will be representation from all the 8 presidential candidates for those that will not turn out in person. And of course, it is an opportunity for these presidential candidates to give their take on what they think should be the way forward over the procurement issue. Remember, Third Way Alliance presidential candidate Ekuru Aukot, who was one of the interested parties in the High Court suit, where he said that he had not been consulted as a candidate before that tender was given to Al Ghurair, has given a memorandum on what he says should be the way forward. And partly what he is pushing for is for the presidential candidates to have an opportunity to be physically there in person at the printing premises and to be the ones to count and seal the ballot papers before they are dispatched back to Kenya, if that happens abroad or whether that happens locally. Because remember, he has been fronting for a local company before the IEBC can think of searching for a company abroad. But of course, that being a suggestion from just one of the 8 candidates. Earlier on, I spoke to Majority Leader in the National Assembly, Aden Duale, and he said for them, they won't be mounting much pressure to IEBC over which company to pick, but their statement is that the elections have to happen on 8th August without any postponement. Earlier on, when we sought the opinion of the opposition leaders under the National Super Alliance, they said that part of what they want from the IEBC is to search for another company and not Al Ghurair. Remember, pursuant to that ruling of the High Court did not blacklist Al Ghurair from future tenders by the IEBC on the basis that NASA did not prove before court the alleged State House connection to the owners of that particular company. And therefore, one of the suggestions that possibly IEBC might be placing on the table is to revert back to Al Ghurair, but this time round with public participation, which was the ground upon which that company had their tender quashed by the High Court. Akisa.
Remy, for that update, of course, as he says, the meeting begins at 2, so we'll definitely be bringing you more details. Let's now get into sports. Former Manchester United lead goal scorer Wayne Rooney appears to have found his way back home, with Lukaku swapping Everton for United, becoming one of the most expensive signing in the English Premier League so far.
Manchester United's all-time leading goal scorer Wayne Rooney has rejoined his boyhood club Everton on a free transfer, 13 years after leaving the club. Rooney made 66